Harish, this amazing city. We have a short promo that we're going to play before we get to Alona and Tessa, who are our representatives from the municipality. But maybe let's get a better look at the city and what it has to offer.
Are you thinking of moving to Israel? Or are you looking for a great investment opportunity in the Israeli property market? Introducing Harish, a brand new city in the northern Israel.
Since we've moved to Harish, we've loved every second of it.
Where is Harish? Harish is surrounded by natural woods in a great location with access to the highway. Around Harish there are 5 major employment hubs. There are parks, playgrounds and shopping centres, and a state-of-the-art education system that provides support for immigrant families. Find the perfect home with affordable real estate opportunities to buy or rent from a variety of Israel's top construction companies. Do you want to know more? Join us for an exclusive opportunity to meet with representatives of the Harish Municipality, the Jewish Agency, and the property experts, so we can talk about affordable new beginnings in Israel. Sign up for our free webinar on Monday the 16th of August, proudly hosted by Hold Real Estate.
Great, so we're all here, thank goodness. Hi and welcome to Alona Gerben and our other guest Tessa, who is a social worker from Harish Municipality. We're going to start with you, Alona. Tell us a bit about what you do. You are officially the Director of Immigrant Absorption in Harish. We've met, you've taken me through, you've given me a tour of the city. Tell us a bit more about who you are and what you do.
Hi everyone. So like Nikki told, I'm a director of absorption in Harish, and first of all, sorry for my not perfect English, because I made Aliyah 10 years ago, and after I made Aliyah, I forgot my English, but I know Hebrew, so it's...
Where from, Alona?
I made Aliyah from Russian, so I just celebrate 10 years in Israel just in a month. Now like עולה חדשה and not עולה חדשה, but I really understand what means made Aliyah. And our departments, it's not like in another city like the people that made Aliyah 20 years ago. It's like just everybody in my department and Olim, and we understand it and we remember how it's to do. And I'm really like Aliyah, it's not easy, but it is important, and it's very exciting step that it must be very friendly, and that's like we see it. And before I'll explain what we do and things like this, it's important to say like we are here for you. And
Amazing. So we've had quite a lot of questions around the demographic of people who live in the city. Can you tell us about the residents? It's a brand new city. Obviously, it's still in development phase. And when I was there going through the city with you, you very much see it. There's lots of building going on. There's new parks going up, new schools. And it's right now, it's kind of hard to gauge like what it's going to be in 10 years' time. But tell us a little bit, you live there. So tell us a little bit about the city right now.
Great. I'll go with Tessa, and so Tessa, I would like you to a little bit explain about your role, and she also have a perfect English. So guys,
my name is Tessa Gonzalez. I made Aliyah 13 years ago from Seattle, Washington, in America, and I lived in Harish for 3.5 years, and I've been working for the city for just over 2 years. I'm a community social worker, which means I work for the social services on community projects. And I'm in touch a lot with the community through my role, but also as an English-speaking citizen of the city. Just as a resident, I get to know a lot of English speakers, and I'm in touch with what's going on. So I'm really happy to be with you here this evening.
Welcome. It's actually great that you're together, because we can kind of direct our questions to both of you, which is great. I know, Alona, you had a slide that you wanted to show us on the demographics of the city, which I think people would be quite interested in. Should we pull that slide up and you can just talk us through it?
Danny?
Yeah, coming up now. I think many people have asked about how many English speakers are living in the city at the moment. And they, there's a lot of anxiety, I think, for English-speaking people around coming to a city where it's not well known that there are many English Olim live there. But we know that there actually are. I mean, Tessa, we spoke the other day, and you were telling me about how many English speakers are moving to the city. Tell us a bit more about that. Tell us a bit more about the experience of, connecting with English speakers in the city. Oh, there we go. Our slide is up.
Okay. Okay. Well, this talks about in general, without showing the Olim. Harish is an extremely young city. That means the youngest city in Israel, I think. We were at one point the youngest city. I'm not sure if
we now and in the 20 years in the beginning we will be the youngest.
That means 50% of the population in Harish are children up to the age of 18. 25% are between the ages of 0 and 6. It's a very young city, young families with young kids, and it's definitely catered to that. A lot of, kid-centered activities, a real emphasis on education. What else we can see here? It's around 50% secular residents and another 50% Orthodox. And 14% of the city is ultra-Orthodox. You can see it says Orthodox and Dati Lumi. That is the terms in Hebrew, like Haredi and Dati Lumi.
And how does that work?
We and Tessa, like you can say in the picture, like now I think it's Harish, it's a secular person like me and the Dati Lumi.
It's very mixed. I mean, certainly when Julia and I were having a tour of the city, you see all kinds of people at the moment. Are there specific areas where, more religious people live, or is it really just a melting pot and, people kind of mingle? I know we had a brief discussion, Tessa, about your Shabbat experience where you said you walk to different areas on Shabbat and, it's kind of, there isn't specific areas for specific communities.
So there is not any specific area that is,
it's like mixed city. It's very, very mixed city, and even in one building, like my building, my apartment, we have a Orthodox, the Tilumi, a secular, extremely secular person. So it's all the city is like this, and we don't have the building or neighborhoods for something. So for somebody.
Right. So there's no neighborhood that's just religious or just secular. I think I haven't yet seen a building that is 100% religious or 100% secular. There are some buildings that are a bit more leaning this way or that way, but it's a very mixed city. Also in the activities that happen, you see a huge mix of people in all of the activities, if it's city-sponsored activities or volunteer.
And I see there's a lot of city-sponsored activities going on. I mean, Alona, you took us to one of the city centers where so much stuff happens. There's a library, there's events. I know you do a lot of concerts. There's a lot going on. I think from what you told me, there's a big investment in different events and kind of creating the social atmosphere of the city, which is really amazing to see.
Especially with community, like we have a lot of community, like have a lot of activities for all ages, because we said that we have the most of the people in the Harish citizens, it's young people, but we have also elder people, and so we have different communities, and a lot of communities it's with a lot of activities with communities. So it's a special. We really believe in this. That it's not just let's go. It's just let's do it together.
And we're gonna move on to property in a little bit. We'll move on to Julia, and I see that there are a couple of questions coming through about that. So if people can just hang on for that.
I also just saw the question there about the ultra-Orthodox and driving on Shabbat. Because this is a mixed city, there is no areas that are closed on Shabbat. There's no area that is all secular. There's no area that's predominantly Orthodox. And there are definitely no streets being closed on Shabbat ever. I do keep Shabbat, and so on Shabbat I don't use up my car, and I go walking with my kids all over the city on Shabbat. We love to go from park to park all across the city, and we stay on the sidewalks. There are no streets closed.
There are definitely lots of parks for Shabbat, that's for sure, where I can imagine lots of kids are playing. Tell us a bit more about the location of the city. people who are thinking of moving to Harish, whether they are making Aliyah or whether they actually live in Israel and they are thinking of a relocation. Is there talk of a train? Where is it located? Can you give us some kind of idea geographically of, how long it would take to the main work centers from there? Is it close to bus routes? Give us a sense of the location.
Jenny, can you share the slide about the location?
I think we have a slide on the location. And then there is one also very important question which was asked on the email is, how far is the beach? Where is the nearest beach from Harish?
17 minutes in the bus. It's a beach, and for now maybe we'll have a bus even
to the beach,
especially for shuttle, especially for beach.
Okay. So what are we looking at here on the slide?
Okay. Let's see. What was the question again? Sorry.
Just from a location perspective for people looking.
Okay. So like Liat was saying, it's great to live in the periphery of Israel, which is great. I don't really consider Harish the periphery. We're maybe getting close to it, but Harish is definitely, it has a different feel than the center than you would get in Modi'in or Tel Aviv or anywhere in the center. It definitely has more of an easygoing feel. But I don't consider it periphery. We are pretty central. Many people commute to Haifa. In between Haifa and Tel Aviv, I think, is a pretty normal commute. Anything further than that is going to be a bit more difficult. Obviously, traffic in Israel, and I'm sure everywhere, get crazy during rush hour. But commutes anywhere between Tel Aviv and Haifa are very common. Our closest train station now is in Benyamina. Also, the Hadera train station, a lot of people will drive there, or Pardes Chana. Actually, Pardes Chana is closer. Benyamina has a bit more train lines. It's only 2 minutes further. They are speaking of a train in Harish. Hopefully, within the next 10 years, there'll be a train line that connects to the rest of the Israel train route.
That'll be amazing.
You can see on the slide the different industrial parks that are in the area. There's 5 industrial parks within a half an hour of Harish. And those are just some of the employment centers that are really easy to commute to.
Right. Let's move on to the kind of support that your offices offer to New Olim. I know that a lot of parents are very anxious about school, about the education system, how it works, how well their kids will be absorbed into a system like that, especially in a different language. Can you tell us a little bit, either from your own experience or what you've experienced working with families, specifically English-speaking families, about the school system and the support around that, Ulpan, and what you offer?
Great. I think just before we'll speak about the education system in general in Harish, because we really have something special in Israel.
Okay. So I can speak more about the education system in general in Harish, and then Alona can add what is specific for Olim children. The education system in Harish is, like everything else in Harish, brand new. Meaning, while the rest of Israel and basically the rest of the world is kind of realizing that we need to change our education system and be more innovative ways of learning, if it's in the classroom or more hands-on. It's a very hard thing to change. It's a very hard change to make for old schools, old principals, old teachers who are just so used to teaching in their specific way. It's a hard change to make. Here in Harish, we're starting the schools from the beginning with these innovative things. If it's classrooms that walls can be taken down to make bigger classrooms, smaller classrooms, different sorts of learning areas, desks to stand up in, desks even to lay down on the floor and do your work. These things, this kind of
progressive kind of education.
And this kind of furniture is being bought for the schools from the beginning. So it's not like a big change needs to happen. Suddenly we have to go out and buy new furniture, do new renovations on the school building. This is all happening from the beginning. So it's a very progressive system here, starting from public education starts from age 3. We have really amazing kindergartens. Kindergarten is 3 to 6 years old. And then elementary schools
And in the kindergarten, it's important to say for the parents that usually in Israel, the staff in the kindergartens, it's a different staff in the morning and afternoon. Yeah, and in Harish, it's all day the same staff. And like, mom, I know that's my baby. Who takes them and who back them?
And really, really excellent staff also. They really have a high level of gananot, kindergarten teachers, and they do a lot of trainings for them year round. They really put a lot of money into the education system here. For the elementary schools, we have 2 religious this next year, they're opening, every year we open new schools. So this next year we're opening 3 or 4 new schools. This next year we're going to have 2 religious elementary schools, 1 religious Torani elementary school, 1 Haredi elementary school. That's on the religious side. And we have 4 secular elementary schools. For high school, there are going to be 2 secular high schools and 1 religious girls and 1 religious boys high school.
So
and what about sorry, Lana.
So you can say also also like the tea and the secular society, that everybody can find themselves in the city, also the children.
And I think I saw from your brochure that there are youth movements that are active in the city already for teens. There are activities, there's volunteering. So there's really quite a lot for kids and teenagers to get involved in.
Yeah, especially if we speak about the kids. So we believe in education, like formal and non-formal education. And also for Olim, we give a chance to be a part of informal education in the schools, and it's classes for Olim and it's programs for Olims. But after school, like non-formal education, they also can be part of a program like a Merkaz Chavaya Be'Ivrit. It's a group project for people from around the world. The kids can speak Hebrew and everybody made mistakes, but it's okay because everybody made mistakes and it's feel free, and you can teach the language in another way, not like in a school that you need to ask or things like this. It's more
conversational and social, and that's great. That's something I need for sure. It's
also have like the programs for the kids. We also have now, it's for young person like you. It's like Cafe Ole. Once in the week, we just have a meeting with the coffee and the snacks and speak about the actual and things like this. And because we believe you need to teach in Ulpan, and we have 2 kinds of Ulpan. It's a Minister of Education and a private Ulpan. You can use both of them, or they use like that's more especially needs for you now when you come. And but it's an Ulpan, and we believe that if you want to have Hebrew, so you just need to
to do Ulpan. For sure. And we're going to share all that information with everyone who's watching. We will send out an email with all the information, and if they want to get in touch with you guys, they will. Just for people who want to connect with English speakers in Harish, are there any groups available online, social media? Are there places where people can go and engage with people already living in Harish?
I would definitely suggest Facebook. In English, we have a group called Harish Anglos.
English in
Harish. English in Harish. Okay. Which is a great place to ask questions if you're considering certain things, if you want to hear about certain areas, or any other specific questions that you can have people already living here answer. Mm-hmm. If you already speak Hebrew and want to try out your Hebrew a bit, there's also Israeli groups in Hebrew on Facebook. Kilat Harish or Harish Habayit Sheli, both on Facebook, are very active, where you can kind of see what's going on in Harish.
Okay, amazing.
Also helping Olim in Harish. It's a group for Olims from around the world, and it's really helpful.
Thank you so much.
What we're talking about.
It's really great to have you both on, and I'm sure we'll have some questions towards the end of the webinar.